Jaya Radhava Kunja Bihar. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shla Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 24, the renunciation of Kardama Muni. Text is 45. Please repeat after me. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Sarvagye Pratyagatmani. Sarvagye Pratyagatmani. Parena Bhakti Bhavena. Parena Bhakti Bhavena. Labdatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Labdatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Sarvegye Pratyagatmani. Parena Bhakti Bhavena. Labdatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Sarvagye Pratyagatmani. Parena Bhakti Bhavena. Labdatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Sarvagye Pratyagatmani. Vasudeva Sarvagya Pradaya Mukta Bandhana Vasudeva to Vasudeva Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead. Sarvagye, omniscient. Pratyagatmani, the super soul within everyone. Parena, transcendental. Bhakti bhavena, by devotional service. Labdha atma, being situated in himself. Mukta bandhanaha, liberated from material bondage. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He thus became liberated from conditioned life and became self-situated in transcendental devotional service to the personality of Godhead Vasudeva, the omniscient super soul within everyone. Purport. When one engages in the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, one becomes aware that his constitutional position as an individual soul is to be eternally a servitor of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Self-realization does not mean that because the Supreme Soul and the individual soul are both souls, they are equal in every respect. The individual soul is prone to be conditioned, and the Supreme Soul is never conditioned. When the conditioned soul realizes that he is subordinate to the Supreme Soul, his position is called labdhatma, self-realization, or mukta bandhana, freedom from material contamination. Material contamination continues as long as one thinks that he is as good as the Supreme Lord, or is equal with him. This condition is the last snare of Maya. Maya always influences the conditioned soul. Even after much meditation and speculation, if one continues to think himself one with the Supreme Lord, it is to be understood that he is still in the last snares of the spell of Maya. The word parena is very significant. Para means transcendental, untinged by material contamination. Full consciousness that one is an internal servant of the Lord is called para-bhakti. If one has an identification with material things and executes devotional service for attainment of some material gain, that is vida bhakti, contaminated bhakti. One can actually become liberated by execution of para-bhakti. Another word mentioned here is sarvagye. The super soul sitting within the heart is all cognizant. He knows, I may forget my past activities due to the change of a body, but because the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is sitting within me, he knows everything. Therefore, the result of my past karma or past activities is awarded to me. I may forget, but he awards me suffering or enjoyment for the misdeeds or good deeds of my past life. One should not think that he is freed from reaction because he has forgotten the actions of his past life. Reactions will take place, and what kind of reactions there will be is judged by the super soul, the witness. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurana Pracharani Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnavutara Srimate Bhakti Karsha Swamini Trinamine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Niti Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvage Pratyagatmani Parena Bhakti Bhavena Labdatma Mukta Bandhanaha. He thus became liberated from conditioned life and became self-situated in transcendental devotional service to the personality of Godhead Vasudeva, the omniscient super soul within everyone. Maitreya Muni is now continuing the descriptions of Kardama Muni, and he is describing how Kardama Muni is not conditioned. He is mukta bandhanaha, liberated from material bondage. Says Prabhupada in a purport. 2 times he mentions that the last snare of Maya. He's mentioning Prabhupada in purport that we think that we are God. This is last snare of Maya. This is Mayavada philosophy. And when Prabhupada was teaching that, then a lot of his disciples were thinking that this is important for India, but not so much for the Westerner countries. But it is not so, because there are many Mayavadis in the West also. I know, because I was also contaminated by this philosophy, and it was in Croatia, in my hometown. It was a quite small town, and then I was engaged in Hatha yoga, in these different asanas. I was practicing yoga, and then my teacher, he was Mayavadi. He went in to practice yoga in India, and he returned, and he was preaching this philosophy, and I also got contaminated in that way, and then I got also in this different association with Mayavadis in my small hometown, and we would meet, and then we would sing some songs. That I'm you, you are me. Everything is, we are all one. And it was like 20 or 30 of us, and it was quite some small town. So I know that there is a lot of propagation of this philosophy also in the West. There are many books there. There are many also Mayavadi sannyasis that are coming to the West to preach this kind of philosophy. And also in early beginnings of ISKCON movement, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were also influenced by this philosophy. And then in one time, when Prabhupada went to India for some time, then his disciples in the West, his senior disciples in the West, started to preach that Prabhupada is actually God. That we didn't pay so much respect to Prabhupada, we didn't worship him as a God. So that's why he's in India, he's there, he's not returning. And then the movement became, everybody in devotees became bewildered a little bit. And then they contacted Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada stopped this nonsense. He punished his his senior disciples who were propagating this philosophy. And we can see actually that Mayavadis, they are quite renounced, and there is there is this artificial, a little bit artificial renunciation is there. Like my Guru Maharaj told one example that my Guru, he's preaching most in India, and 1 year he went to this Kumbh Mela, and this Kumbh Mela is gathering of sadhus, of saintly persons, and many of them are Mayavadis, and there was a procession of these Naga Babas. These Naga Babas, they are completely naked. They are just putting some ash on themselves, and they're just completely renounced. They're walking completely naked. They're very renounced. But then there was procession of them, and they were riding these elephants, and everybody was throwing flowers on them. And my Guru Maharaj, he told on lecture, he could see this pride was there, and they were very proud. I'm naked, I'm completely renounced, but still this pride is there. Icha, Krishna says to Arjuna, Icha dvesha samudena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani samoham sargayanti parantapa. That all living entities are bewildered by this delusion of dualities, which are born of desire and anger. It is very difficult to become free from this pride, from envy, from anger. And we can see that many personalities, when Krishna was present on this planet, that many personalities were envious of Krishna. The best example is of Shishupal and his brother Dantavakra. They were cousins of Krishna. They were cousins, but they were very envious of Krishna. When Shishupal was born, he was born with 4 hands and 3 eyes. He was like a monster, you can say. He was crying, screaming like an ass. And then his mother was very upset. And then she heard a voice from the sky that, don't worry, Shishupal, he will become normal when Shishupal is put on a lap of a person who will kill him. And then, because Krishna was also in this family, Shishupal's mother, he was Krishna's maternal aunt. Shishupal was a cousin of Krishna, and Krishna, he was older, and he came to pay respects to just to greet the new child. And then he put the Shishupal on his lap, and then immediately his extra 2 arms fell off, and his 1 extra arm disappeared. And then immediately Shishupal's mother knew, oh, Krishna will kill my son. And then immediately at that time she approached Krishna and she begged him, please forgive any offenses my son will do to you. Forgive any offenses. And then because Krishna is very merciful, he said, okay, I will forgive Shishupal 100 offenses. And we know Shishupal, he was searching for any opportunity to criticize Krishna, and he was criticizing him in any possible way, and Krishna would tolerate that. And then there was this big Rajasuya sacrifice, because in those days 5 Pandavas were mistreated by Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. But somehow these elder advisors influenced Dhritarashtra and told him, please give Pandavas half of the kingdom. They deserve it. So in a rare moment of clarity, Dhritarashtra agreed, okay, I will give Pandavas half of the kingdom. But he invited 5 Pandavas, and Krishna was also there. And then he told them, okay, you can have this part of a kingdom. But they knew what kind of this part was only desert. And Krishna just looked at Yudhishthira, and they were looking each other. What he is giving us this desert. And then when they were riding their chariot to their new kingdom, they could look all around, and it was full of desert. And then Krishna was joking, to Yudhishthira, look how wonderful land the king has given you, Yudhishthira. It's all desert. But nevertheless, desert was there because I cannot remember which Muni, he was. This land was under some kind of a curse, but because Krishna was there, he helped Pandavas, and they lifted this curse. That this land became very nice to produce, very nice to cultivate, and then they built a very nice city, Indraprastha. And it was a very rich city, and in that way it attracted so many citizens, and in that way this other part of Yudhishthira's part of the kingdom became very wealthy because of 5 Pandavas, because they were very powerful. And then Yudhishthira, he performed this Rajasuya Sacrifice, which is kings of sacrifices. It's very, very opulent sacrifice. He was like emperor of the world. It is described that so many kings came there to pay respects to Yudhishthira, and they gave him so many wealth. And all great personalities were there. Even, can you imagine, even Lord Brahma came to this sacrifice. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, so many demigods. They were mixing with so-called ordinary people. And Shishupal was also there. And he was very envious of Krishna. Because we know from the history that it was decided that Shishupal should marry Rukmini. But we know that Krishna took Rukmini by force and married her. Because she wanted it, actually. She didn't want to marry Shishupal. Jai Shishupal Lakshmana Singadeva Bhagavan Ki Jai. So during this, at the end of this great sacrifice, they were deciding which person to glorify first. And somebody was saying we should honor Lord Brahma, somebody was saying we should honor Lord Shiva. But many of them said we should honor Krishna, because he is actually Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shishupal, he could not take this. He just could not take it anymore. And again, at this Rajasuya Sacrifice, he was criticizing Krishna so much. And Krishna was just sitting, and he was tolerating it, because he gave this vow to Shishupal's mother that he would tolerate. But then, at this Rajasuya Sacrifice, Shishupal, he went beyond these 100 offenses that Krishna told, okay, I will tolerate. And then when Shishupal offended him so many times that Krishna stood up and with his Sudarshan chakra, with his weapon, he just decapitated Shishupal. And Shishupal saw Sudarshan chakra. He was going for his sword, but he was not so fast. Sudarshan chakra was very fast. And she just decapitated Shishupal's head. And there were many kings who were on Shishupal's side, but they could not say anything. And they were afraid for their life. They saw that Krishna decapitated Shishupal, and they were keeping quiet. But we know from previous lives. And then when Shishupal died, everybody saw this light going from Shishupal's body to Krishna's body. That he attained liberation. And everybody was bewildered by this. So Shishupal got liberation. And then Yudhishthira also was bewildered. And Narada Muni was sitting by Yudhishthir's side. So Yudhishthira questioned Narada Muni. How is this that Shishupal he's a demon, he criticized Krishna so much. And we can see that his destination is very, very auspicious. He got liberated. How is this so? And then Narada Muni started to narrate this story. And who knows who was Shishupal and his brother Dantavakra in his previous life? Yeah, Jai and Vijay, yeah. That's correct, yeah. Jai and Vijay, because Narada Muni was saying to Yudhishthira that Shishupal, he was absorbed in thinking of Krishna. Because we are influenced by these dualities the dualities of this material world, but Krishna is not. And Narada Muni was explaining that if you think of Krishna, even if you are envious, like Shishupal, or even if you are fearing Krishna, like Kamsa was doing. Kamsa was always in fear of Krishna, because he heard Krishna will kill him, and he was always in a fear of Krishna. Or even if you have lusty desires, like gopis toward Krishna, or even if you are engaged in devotional service and you are always thinking of Krishna, you get the same result. Narada Muni was explaining like this. That's why in Krishna Lila, when Krishna was here, we can say demons are actually devotees of the Lord. That's why Krishna does not give this role to anybody, because Shishupal and Dantavakra, they were great devotees of the Lord. They were in Vishnu Loka, they were guarding the gate of the Lord. They were gatekeepers, but somehow they fall down. First life like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, second life is Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and then third life is Shishupal and Dantavakra. We know that so even demons in Krishna Lila are actually devotees, and they got liberation by that. Prabhupada is also explaining in purport that is giving this para bhakti and vida bhakti. Para bhakti, Prabhupada says, is transcendental, untinged by material contamination. This is untinged devotional service. And vida bhakti, contaminated bhakti. Contaminated bhakti. And like Vidyapurna Maharaj was giving this example, that there was one older devotee in Mayapur, and he was doing some menial service like pot washing or something, or cleaning some space, and he was doing it for years. He was very humble, so to say. But then Maharaj was explaining when devotees spoke with him, he told them openly that he wanted to go to heavenly planets, that this is his plan, that I will enjoy there. I will I will do devotional service here. I will do some austerities here, and then I will go to heavenly planets to enjoy there. This is this Vida Bhakti, what is Prabhupada explaining, this contaminated Bhakti. But Prabhupada taught us that we should be serious in our attempt to return home back to Godhead, because we actually don't know what is our origin, what we were in previous lives. Maybe we came from heavenly planets. And then again to return there, to enjoy, so to say, then it is not so palatable to devotees to go to the heavenly planets. But still, there are many personalities who cannot give up this envy and this anger toward Krishna, and that's why we are in material world, because of this. We are envious of Krishna. We want to be actually enjoyers. We want to enjoy this separately from Krishna, and that's why Krishna is giving us facility that we should try it. Same as Duryodhana, he was very envious of 5 Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira, and especially when this Rajasuya sacrifice was there. Duryodhana was also there, and we actually know that because of this envy, there was this big battle of Kurukshetra. Because Duryodhana was envious of Yudhishthira. He could see that so many kings there came to pay respects to Yudhishthira. And then there was this Maya Sabha. It was assembly hall from Yudhishthira. And it is described that it was this Maya Sabha, this assembly hall, was very like celestial, like from heavenly planets. This structure, because it was built by Maya Danava, and he is the architect of the demons. Because there was one example when Agnidev, when he was consuming this Kandava forest, then he asked Arjuna and Krishna for help, and then they helped Agnidev to consume this forest. And in this forest, the Maya Danava, he tried to escape from this forest when Agnidev was consuming this forest. And then he approached Arjuna, and he paid obeisances to Arjuna, and he said, "Please don't kill me." And Arjuna spared his life. And in that way, this architect of the demons, Maya Danava, he became obliged to Arjuna, and he said, what I can do for you? And then Arjuna told him, you can build some assembly hall for my brother Yudhishthira. And then Maya Danava, he was engaged in building this Maya Sabha, this assembly hall, where these political affairs were going on. We can say this was like today's parliament. You go there and they discuss different politics, different wars, and Yudhishthira was there with his five Pandavas. And anyway, when this sacrifice was there, Duryodhana was also there, and he was very amazed by this structure. And there was one example when in this Maya Sabha there was like a pool, like water was there. But it was like on a marble floor, and you could not see this pool where you can take a swim. You could not see it if you did not know it, that it was there. It seemed when water was calm, it seemed like continuation of a marble floor. And Duryodhana, he also did not know that, and completely with his opened eyes and he very conscious, he fell into this pool because he thought it was just a floor, and he fell in this pool of water, fully clothed. And then Pandavas were there on a balcony, and Draupadi was also there. The queens of Krishna was there, and everybody was laughing to Duryodhana, and he was very embarrassed, and everybody was laughing. But Yudhishthir, he could see that Duryodhana was embarrassed. Even Draupadi was laughing at him. And then Yudhishthir told him, no, don't laugh. Yudhishthir was so righteous, so merciful, that Duryodhana, even he was his enemy, he told his brothers, don't laugh at him. And he arranged for dry clothes to be brought to Duryodhana so he can change his clothes. So Duryodhana, he remembered that, how they laughed at him, and even Draupadi laughed. And he was very, very envious of this riches, this wealth that Yudhishthira possessed. And in that way, he spoke with his uncle Shakuni, and then we know this gambling match took place because Duryodhana, he wanted to take this riches, this wealth from Yudhishthira. And we can see even in our heart that we are sometimes feeling envious, we are angry sometimes, we are not in a good standing, so to say. When there are two neighbors, and then one gets a new car, it's new shining car, and this neighbor is looking at this car, and he's very envious of his neighbor because he's having this very nice new car. So we also sometimes we feel this envy towards other devotees, when they have something that we want, when they are maybe more advanced than we are, and this envy is like burning in our heart. But we should not meditate on this. We should not feel negative emotions toward other devotees, because it is destroying. It is not good for our Krishna consciousness. We should give up these bad thoughts. This is the glory of Kali Yuga. That even if you have bad thoughts, you don't get reactions for them. In previous ages, you will get reactions even for bad thoughts. But in this Kali Yuga, you get the benefit for a good thoughts. You get the benefit when you worship the Lord in the mind. If you get very old and then you cannot do your service anymore, you did it all your life and you're very unhappy because you cannot do it anymore, your body is not strong enough, then if you offer it, if you meditate in the mind, that now I'm cooking for the Lord, now I'm picking some flowers for the Lord, and now I'm offering these flowers to the Lord, and you are only imagining this, only meditating in your mind, you are getting benefit actually. You are benefited in that way. But for the bad thoughts, if you are thinking, what this devotee is always late in serving prasadam, he's not on time, you are meditating like this, he's so spaced out, but you are not getting reaction. But still, we should acknowledge these bad thoughts, and we should not let it spread, let it fester like a wound. Let it like meditate. We should recognize this. This is not a good thought. This is not not good for my spiritual life to be meditating like this on other devotees, because this is a hospital. Prabhupada said it like this, and not everybody is a sick person here. We are all like prisoners in this material world. So you can say, then what is the free will? Then we don't have a free will if we are prisoners. But actually it is described that we are very much conditioned, but still we have some free will. Like Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, his father, they would always say, it is providence. What I can do, it is written. I cannot do anything. It's like that. It will happen anyway. I cannot influence. It will happen. I'm powerless. They were always meditating like this. They were doing bad deeds. They were not being honest, not being good toward Pandavas, and they were saying, we cannot do anything. But it is like this material existence is like traveling on a plane. So on a plane you are conditioned. You cannot just go for a walk or have a shower. You cannot have shower there. You cannot. So many things you cannot do on a plane. But still, you can choose what will you do. Television is there. You can put some program. You can put some nice movie on. You can watch a movie, or you can put some earphones in a ear, and you can listen to Prabhupada's lectures, or you can sleep. So some freedom is there. So that's why we should not misuse our freedom. We should use it properly. And Prabhupada gave us this great knowledge, these great books that we can read. We can associate with Krishna. We can get to know Krishna in that way. We can meditate on Krishna, and in that way become stronger in our spiritual life. I remember I was always searching for something, and I was going to church, and I always felt there was God, but how to approach Him? What does He look like? I was always inquiring, and when you're young, you have this image of a God that He's like sitting on a cloud, and He has a long white beard, and He will send the thunder if you are not good. This is what Christians think, that that you will go to hell for eternity, that there is no redemption. It seemed to me nonsense that you will go to hell for eternity if you don't accept Jesus. It didn't sound right to me. And then I was searching, and then this Mayavada philosophy. And when you read these Mayavada books, it's all sentiment, actually. It does not make sense. If you also read a little bit thoughtful person, you could see that something is wrong with this philosophy. So when I saw devotees in my town doing Harinam, I was amazed. They looked very shiny. They were very happy. But they were dressed in a very strange clothes. I was thinking, who are they? What are they doing? And then later I saw them chanting by the river. They were sitting, and then immediately I got attracted. Then, who are you? What are you doing? What is your philosophy? And then I came to the temple, and then when I heard philosophy, it actually made a lot of sense when you start reading these books. Then you see, that's right. Actually, this is what I'm searching for. And whatever question I had, the answer was there. The answer was there. So we can see that this is the highest philosophy. This is very very precious, what we have. And then we come, and devotee association is also priceless. And then we come here, and then we serve, and then our mind is telling us this is that, this devotee is doing that. Maybe I'm not here. I don't want to be here. Devotees are not good to me. They are always criticizing me. I always have to do some service. Let me go away. But what is the alternative? It's not appealing to me. Everybody who was outside of devotee association, you can see what Prabhupada was saying when he told that this is a school of hard knocks, school of punches. This is outside devotees association. He would say like that, school of hard knocks. And you can see immediately when you are not in a devotees association that your sadhana, your spiritual practice will gradually diminish, will gradually, the quality will suffer. It will gradually going down. And that's why the association of devotees is very, very precious. There are not many of us. We think ISKCON is big, but it's not big, especially in the West. There are not so many devotees in the West. So we should, wherever we are, we should seek this association with devotees. We should, as much as we can, go to Sunday feast, associate, take prashadam, and that way we get strength from association. Because it's not easy outside. You can see that people are suffering very much. Because we don't know the true meaning of life. We don't know our true identity. This is this is the basic principle, this forgetfulness of our identity. Prabhupada is saying, this is the ignorance, forgetfulness of our own identity. In that way, we, in association with devotees, they are remembering us. They are telling us that we are spirit souls. Immediately, when you associate devotees, we can see that we can meditate on these basic points which Prabhupada gave us. And Prabhupada was always stressing these basic points. And sometimes we think also that Prabhupada is so much repeating in his books, but actually we need this repetition, because we are not on that level, on that high level. So wherever we are, we should seek devotees association, and we should seek shelter in Srila Prabhupada's books, and in that way we will get strength when we associate, when we hear lectures, when we read Prabhupada's books. Okay, in this point I would like to stop. If maybe there are some questions, or maybe some. Yes, Bhakta Salim.
about devotees.
Mm.
Maybe you, and you said you should recognize it and then, understand that it's not good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can a little bit elaborate on that point, how to get rid of those bad thoughts about devotional service or about devotees in general.
Yeah, but sometimes Prabhupada encouraged this like competition between devotees. This is like actually good competition. Who will do more service? Who will do nicer service to the Lord? This is not wrong. When you see some devotee doing nice service, and then you think, I want to. He's doing so much service. I want to do it like him. This is not bad thoughts. But bad thoughts, material envy is when you want to bring that person down. When you're feeling bad, and you want that this person is not so elevated. You want that this person is underneath you, and that you are on the top. So this is material envy. This is what we should look about when we don't wish benefit for other devotee. And also when you criticize, when you're giving instruction to other devotee, we should see why are we instructing this devotee. If we want to uplift him, if we want that this devotee does his service nicely and that he advances, then it is okay. But if we are only instructing this devotee, only criticizing him, just to bring him down, then just to make him feel bad, then this is not a good. We should actually always search in our heart what is our true motives. Why are we doing different things? Yeah, Bhakta Bashar.
We have an online question from Ramananda Gopal. Question to the respected preacher. What can one do if you feel someone is envious of you? And the you, he wrote it with a capital letter.
If somebody is envious of you, we should pray for that person. I mean, what else we can do if this is not so much what we can do when somebody is envious of us. We can say a prayer for that person, and we should. I don't know. It's not so easy to answer on that question. If somebody is envious of you, yeah, Bhakta Bashar, you have some idea?
I don't know if it's a question or a comment. I once asked this question to a friend of mine, and he brought out the point that sometimes if we see envy in others towards us, then it's most of the time just our pride. We think that we have something to be envied about, but like why would you be envious of me? What do I have to?
Yes, but also there is some examples that person is maybe envious of us, but it's not much that we can do. We can just pray for that person that she or he will become purified, and we gradually will become purified. This is the point. We just have to keep ourselves in a devotional service and keep doing service and keep chanting, and gradually we will then acknowledge these bad feelings, and then we will try to purify ourselves. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Some other questions? No? Okay, we will end here. You have some question? Admaram Prabhu will say something.
Krishna, thank you for a beautiful class. Just some small addition. How would I answer that question? The first of all thing is, when you see somebody envious, that includes yourself or somebody else, you have to find out what's the reason of envy. And most of the times it's, we can say divide, first of all, he possesses something which you don't have. That could be a material thing. You mentioned the car or something else like this, new shiny one, or even qualities. But the solution is not, first of all, take it personally, since he's not envious of you, he's envious of car, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So same thing like when somebody's prizing you, saying, okay, you are so nice, Agastya Prabhupada ki jai. You give a benefit to the spiritual master, to Krishna. He is one who gave you that thing. So when there's a question of envious, then you understand the person is not really understanding who you are. He's envious of something which is not you, which is given to you because of your good attitude towards Krishna. The more you are pure in that direction, the more benefits you get. You know, Prabhupada had so much money, so much abilities, so much qualities, and everything came because of his service to Krishna. So when somebody is envious of us, then we also don't take it personally. He is envious of something which he would like to achieve, but cannot due to his improper attitude towards Krishna. So that's one thing. So from that point comes second thing. If you want to get rid of his quality of enviousness, you give him Krishna consciousness. So he will appreciate that nice thing, but not be envious. It's like you mentioned that there's somebody is doing service and he's like, oh, yeah. No. In the spiritual world, you appreciate and you want to do as nice service like the person does.
Yeah.
So, and the qualities are just facilities which are provided for that service. You know, we cannot look at the cook and say, "Oh, I'm envious because he has so much dates or so much sweets or whatever it is." You know, no, the sweets are given because he is trustworthy. He can make sweets. He can make cooking, and therefore he has all the vegetables he needs. You know. And oh no, I'm envious because he has a paprika, you know? Something like that. So anything we have, enviousness is actually not seeing the spiritual content. So if you want to get rid of the person enviousness, then you can explain what actually it is, what you're looking for. All you need is love, you know. You need the relationship, but you think that thing which you are envious of will give you that sense of love, you know, because I will have the car and then all the other people will love me. No, they'll be envious as well. So that's a dead end. So explain the things and it should be working. So we can try to do something at least.
Hare Krishna, good point, thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.